It's all on here at Eden Park for the opening match in the Benson & Hedges Cricket World Cup, the first of 39 matches, the high point in the summer of Great Balls of Fire.
You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. Well, too much of this could drive a man insane. Well, you've got the will. Oh, what a thrill. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Oh, goodness gracious, great balls of fire! Hey! Oh, goodness gracious, great balls of fire! Well, goodness gracious, great balls of fire! You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. Too much of this could drive a man insane. You got the will. Oh, what a thrill! Goodness gracious, great balls of fire! Oh, goodness gracious! Yeah, come on, brother, give me another. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire!
Good morning, thanks for joining us on One World of Sport and joining us for this mighty occasion. Now, if you share your place with a cricket lover, don't expect much contact over the next 5 weeks. It's the first time it's come down under, the first time South Africa is competing, so much to look forward to. First, we're going to have a look at the pitch. Traditionally, one-day pitches should favour the batsman. I wonder if it's happening this time. Here's Peter Sharp and John Morrison.
Yeah, you're dead right there, Jeff. It's bad luck for the bowlers, John, isn't it? They're more or less just cannon fodder in this game.
Well, too right. It is meant to be a batsman's game. Runs are the thing that people come to see, and so the groundsman tries to produce a wicket that is very much in the batsman's favour.
Now, this Eden Park pitch, over the years, has tended to be slow and reasonably low in bounce. And we'll just look at it here as we move down the pitch. You can see that the essence of a one-day pitch is there. There's no grass, so there won't be any seam movement. And the ball should come on at a reasonable pace, I would think. We could just talk about it in a moment or two where we get down further. But I expect that this is going to be a good one-day pitch for Auckland conditions.
Oh, I think it should be. And if we have a look here, we can see how the grass has gone. It's been burnt off, it's been rolled out, and so it shouldn't favour the bowler too much. The only question is, as you say, Peter, will it hold up? Will it keep a bit slow? And here we see a very flat part here, and then a wee bit different over here, a bit of grass. And so maybe a variation. But I think it's a good one-day pitch, but it may be a little low and a little slow.
It looks to me to be one that's going to be one that will be better at the start of the day rather than towards the end of the day when it might get a bit slower and lower.
Yes, I think so. And for that reason, the captain that wins the toss will probably say, I'll bat.
I think so, and the captain will be batting in good conditions too. Whichever team bats first will bat in very good conditions, and we'll go and get more update on how the day is going to pan out with Grant Nisbet.
Well, they say the full moon represents good luck, and let's hope that is the case as we count down now to the opening match of the Benson & Hedges World Cup. Well, joining me on the weather this morning, Jim Hickey, familiar face. Jim, obviously I'm not doing well enough. You've come along to tell us about today's weather.
Well, I hope I can improve things slightly, Grant.
Okay, so we've got this little house here, Jim, and everyone's seen these in the last 50 years or so. The little lady's out, that's a good sign.
She brings the sunshine, I think, Grant, so things are looking pretty good.
Okay, now let's have a look at the satellite. Now, I never understand this flaming thing. Tell us what this means.
Right, well, look, the satellite there, there's a bit of cloud around, but most of it, of course, over New Zealand is moving out to the east. We've got some high jet stream cloud there in the North Tasman Sea, which won't bother us. The most important thing is that big space in the Tasman Sea is occupied by an incoming anticyclone, and that's preceded by a cooler southwesterly, so things are generally improving.
Good on you, Jim. OK, we've got the dog box out again overnight, courtesy of the New Zealand Met Service. So welcome back to the Soundhound. He's with us. We had 13 degrees minimum in Auckland last night. We're heading for 25, which is a very good sign indeed. And let's have a look at the little wind gizmo out in the middle. The players don't have much to contend with, really. Look at that, just registering 2 or 3 knots at this stage from the southwest, and nothing really to write home about. But one of the best things we can show you is the rain radar. And Jim's going to explain that to us.
This is a fairly new device, but if you look at the map there, you'll see those little yellow dots, or a line of yellow dots out to the right of the map, just crossing the Coromandel area. That represents a little bit of early shower activity we had in the Auckland area overnight, but it's moving away. The most important thing is that it's clear to the west, which is where the weather is coming from. There's no rain-bearing cloud there at all, so there won't be any rain over Eden Park today.
Well, there we are. That's a good sign. So let's summarise, see what we can expect here for the opening day of the World Cup. There we are. Last night in Auckland, 13 degrees. Temperature currently of 20, going to 25. Winds not too significant. Neither is the humidity. Barometer is rising at 10:08. The outlook is fine. And Jim, where's the place to be today?
Well, I think there are 2 of them. One of them has to be here, of course, at Eden Park for the big World Cup match. Second one will be down at Paraparaumu for the New Zealand Open Golf.
Good on you, Jim. Thanks very much for that. So as we have a look at the skies of Auckland, we see the clouds are dissipating and fine conditions for the opening day of the World Cup.
Grant Nisbet calling on expert help with Jim Hickey. Whether they're right or not remains to be seen, but I have to say it looks like they will be. Right, let's have a look at the teams now. Remember, New Zealand won the toss, they're batting, and we'll look at the Australian lineup first of all. They've left out Mark Taylor, Hughes and Whitney. They have the best of all problems, in fact, who to leave out rather than who to put in. Loads of one-day experience, they're saturated with it, and they're led by Alan Border, who's played more one-day internationals than any other cricketer in the game's history, and that's 233. And it's that experience that New Zealand lacks. And if you take 3 of our frontline bowlers, Chris Harris, Chris Cairns and Gavin Larson, well, they total less than 40 one-day internationals between them. And how they apply the lessons learned against England is a crucial factor in today's match. One Word of Sport, live at Eden Park. It's New Zealand versus Australia for this opening match of the 1992 Benson and Hedges Cricket World Cup. And the place is humming. There's a noise, very noisy. It's a great spectacle. Eden Park looks terrific. For this first match, New Zealand versus Australia, Martin Crowe won the toss. New Zealand will bat. We'll see Rod Latham and John Wright coming out very shortly to face Craig McDermott and Bruce Reid. All right, let's join our commentators now for this opening over. Australia versus New Zealand is John Morrison and Henry Blofeld.
Thank you, Jeff. Well, the scene is set for the start of the 1992 World Cup, and it looks like Craig McDermott, the Australian quick bowler, will bowl to John Wright. And it's a further good morning to Henry Blofeld.
My dear old thing, a very good morning to everyone, and good afternoon, good evening and good night to wherever you are all around the world. This occasion has been set up magnificently. The tension is so thick out there, the atmosphere is so thick you could cut it. Can New Zealand belie their recent form against England and cause the shock of the competition so far and take the Australians to the wire and indeed win? The odds are against them, but in one-day cricket everything is possible.
Yes, who knows? And I think Martin Crowe winning the toss this morning and batting, that was a good start because New Zealand have the opportunity of setting the pace. And John Wright, the old campaigner, he's going to take strike. Rod Latham is at the non-strikers end, and it really has been a massive build-up, and the players, I suppose, were here early, and they had their warm-ups before the big displays, so it's been quite a long time of tension. But umpires, David Shepherd from England, Kaiser Hyatt from Pakistan, and the scene, as I say, is set. Alan Border, the Australian captain.
The world holds its breath.
So the first ball of the 1992 World Cup. And it's a wide.
Well, it's a bit of an anticlimax, I suppose, a wide, but I'm glad to see umpire Shepherd being severe in his interpretation of the one-day rule, wide rule. Straight away, he set himself a benchmark. He must be consistent now, right to the end of the game and the end of the tournament. But I think that was certainly a one-day wide. It took perhaps a bit of guts to call the first ball in the competition as a wide.
So New Zealand underway with that wide. And McDermott again. Another one.
Wider still. 2 for no wicket. Every run gratefully received.
Oh, he's bowled. John Wright has bowled. A sensation here. Looking to turn it down the leg side. And it got through and hit the stump. So New Zealand, tragedy for them in the third delivery of the game. John Wright leaving Eden Park.
Yes, well, he moved too far across his stumps. I should think it may have come onto the off his trousers, off his bottom, onto the leg stump. But he moved much too far across. Oh dear! New Zealand's most experienced batsman has gone. 2 for 1.
There we are, Andrew Jones, all-time record for him in one-day matches, and that makes impressive reading. 43.29 the average. He's been a wonderful performer. But can he do it again today? And back to ball. That's a relief, Henry.
Yes, it was. McDermott getting just a little bit of movement away from the right-hander there. Jones getting everything behind it. And, of course, when you've lost a wicket in the first over, the pressure really is on the batsman who comes in next.
Here's the first runs off the bat. Good shot from Andrew Jones. Beautifully timed behind square for 4 runs.
I say that was a good shot. Timed it, as you say, to perfection. 6 for 1. They've had this in Australia for some while, a new one white ball used at each end. The reason being they found in Australia that the white ball loses its colour very quickly, and after 30 overs of 50, it's difficult to see against the sight screen, but having a ball at each end, that isn't a problem. And exactly. I think it's a sensible thing to do.
Oh, so do I. They get very dirty once they're scuffed up, and they pick up the dirt around the outfield, of course, and the wicket. And as you say, Henry, get rather hard to see. Oh, he's hit that away beautifully, Rod Latham. Picked it up. It was further up, and he picked it up and whipped it away to the forward square boundary for 4 runs.
Yes, that was a fine stroke by Latham. He'll be feeling all the better for it. It was pitched up, and there it was, playing it meat and drink to him. He hit it in the air, but you've got to take a slight risk. And it was well wide of any fielder for good runs, and I should think that's taken his pulse rate down a notch or 2.
I think so, Henry. Good shot, well played. Oh, it's in the air, he's dropped. Goodness me, he's dropped.
Tom Moody putting that one down. That really was, as they go, a pretty easy one. The end of the over, 12 for 1.
Well, goodness me, Moody dropping that catch. That was a pretty straightforward slip catch, Henry, wasn't it?
Well, as they go, yes, it was indeed straightforward. You would have gobbled it.
Oh, of course. No shot.
Another at the end of the over. We'll come back to that. It's 12 for 1.
So we've had 3 overs, and there's the New Zealand scoreboard. John Wright, the man, gone for a duck.
And a little bit of beauty in between the scoreboard.
Well, that's in the air. He went for a big shot. It was very wide, but it went over the slips and down to third man. And Craig McDermott, he's got a very big arm down there. Rockets it in over the top of the stumps. So 1 more to Latham.
Yes, that's Latham. He had to go for that, the wide one. That's what he's there for, to get runs in the first 15 overs when there are only 2 men out. And it didn't go exactly where he wanted. But that's the gamble that you take when you pick Latham, and that Latham takes when he plays for his country.
Right. And I think it's worthwhile. When the ball's up, you might as well go for it. And with any luck, if he gets enough wood on it, it goes high and wide like that one.
Oh, if he gets it up like that, he's got to whack it, or try to whack it. I was talking about Jones's jump stroke a few moments ago, the aerial stroke play. Ken Barrington, the famous England middle order batsman in the 60s and 70s, he was another who was very good on the jump.
Goodness me, Henry. Allowed it. Oh, he's out.
He's been given out. Well, well, well. He was forward. I would wonder, let's have a look at that. Left arm over the wicket. I would have thought that had to be missing off stump. Otherwise, it would have pitched outside the leg stump. But Mr. Kaiserhyde gave him out very, very quickly.
Goodness me, this...
It came back at him. It came back at him. It was a pretty good one, but I think it was probably high.
Well, the umpire's finger says you're out, and Andrew Jones is on his way. New Zealand are 13 for 2. So Martin Crowe, the New Zealand batsman, on his way, and there's the rather sorry sight of the New Zealand scoreboard with 2 men gone. And perhaps, Henry, that didn't look quite so bad on the replay, but I just wonder about the height factor. Let's see if we can have a look at the height factor. The side-on shot. Oh dear, it might have gone over the top.
I thought the batsman really probably should have had the benefit of the doubt there. I don't think you could have said, I'm not the umpire, obviously, but I think it's difficult to say there was not any shadow of doubt about that.
I think that's a fair comment. And of course, in theory, there must be no shadow of doubt. Hopefully in practice. But anyway, he's gone. And Martin Crowe, here's his all-time record in one-day cricket. 114 matches. Highest score 105 against England. And that was a fair while ago now.
Well, New Zealand are going to want a Crowe special now. There's his opposite number, Alan Border.
Oh, that wasn't a bad delivery. Martin Crowe kept it out, but my word, that hurried on to him. Well, McDermott to continue. We've got a change. Richard Hadley coming in with Glenn Turner.
Thank you, John. Well, certainly the Australians putting a tremendous amount of pressure on New Zealand right now. They have 2 slips and a gully in, only needing 2 close-in catches, but opting for 3. And there'll probably just be a single, very short boundary down there, and what a marvellous attempt, I might say, only an attempt. So that's 4 more to Rod Latham. Just clipping it off his hip.
Well, this is the second boundary of the morning or afternoon for Latham. He's played that very well off his hips for 4. Bruce Reid, very tall, of course, around about 6'8", trying to get down there to stop it. Unusual for the Australians actually to drop a catch as Moody did, and of course the odd misfield, because normally they're a very polished professional fielding side, the Australians. But a good shot and good runs for Latham.
Well, that's a fine push back down past McDermott. At least 2 in it, possibly a third. But no, they won't come back for that third one. Very controlled shot here from Rod Latham. Back past McDermott.
Well, Latham's doing it right for New Zealand there. That ball was dead straight, and he played it straight back past the bowler. But Latham is prepared to hit the ball that's up and play his shots. Anything that's a little bit short or wide, he's prepared to have a go at, deflect or cut. And that's got to be good news. That's what he's there for. Somebody's got to get the runs very quickly and get the New Zealand scoreboard ticking over.
Another run here, but a good delivery, nipping back onto Latham. Still got enough bat on it, and a comfortable 2 more for him. So Latham just rushing along a little now, on to 13 from 13 balls. Australia in the field, and Martin Crowe on strike to Bruce Reid. And a very cheeky little single there, but that's good to see from Martin Crowe, just dabbing it down on the offside. And so Crowe will be very happy off the mark with that one from now 7 balls that he's faced. And Latham just standing tall there and managing to get it straight back down the ground at the end of the 3rd over bowled by Reid, and now 6 overs gone with New Zealand at 24 for 2. So New Zealand at striking at the moment at 4 runs per over, but of course they've lost those 2 wickets, which is rather critical. So Alan Border won't be too worried about that side of things. It will be McDermott who will continue from the northern end. He's now bowled 3 overs and has 1 for 14. Just a single here for Latham. His feet, he couldn't get them going that time, and he tried to force it. Just not happy with the control in that shot and just losing a little bit of timing. But another run to Latham.
There we have Craig McDermott there. He's getting his wickets at 24. That's pretty good value. 125 wickets, best of 5 for 44 against Pakistan. That's a very impressive one-day performance. But of course, when you're a new ball bowler, obviously you're keen to get wickets early on, but you've got to save runs as well. And McDermott at this stage is already conceding over 4 runs and over, and really he'd be wanting to do a little bit better than that. But of course, he's picked up that very important wicket, that of John Wright in the first over.
Cheeky single, but good running from Latham, and good to see that urgency with New Zealand's cricket, even having lost 2 early wickets. The opening match of the 1992 Cricket World Cup. Eden Park, Auckland, the venue. Latham on strike to Reid. Well, that's in the air, and it's away for 4. Jones won't catch it. His arms freed here, and Rod Latham this time, although not getting over the top of it, followed through with it and hit it very efficiently and effectively just in front of point for 4.
Well, he's doing exactly the right thing, slightly over pitched and a bit wide, and that one's gone to the boundary. That's Latham's third 4. He's raced to 20 now. He's only faced 20 balls, so that's a strike rate of 100, and that's the type of thing that New Zealand definitely need at this time. Somebody like Latham to really go for it, Crowe to settle down and take control a little bit later in the innings.
Yes! And that's good cricket. Just 2 in front on the offside, saving the single. A 4 to Latham, and then just pushing it into the gap there and coming through for a single and keeping it ticking over. And straight on the spot too. Firmly pushed into the covers by Latham, but put it in the right place.
But again, Moody is a very tall person, not quite as tall as Bruce Reid, but here we have Moody's stats. Only 24 matches, 9 wickets, which is not too many, and a strike rate of 51, which is not too bad.
And a fine shot this from Latham, just standing up and delivering in front of point. 3 players out there trying to save runs, but Latham on this occasion just cracking it away for 4. There'll be a change of commentary now. Peter Sharp comes in with Bob Cunis.
Thank you, Glenn. Getting wider is Bruce Reid, and Kaiser Hyatt said that's too wide. It's in the air, but not close enough to border. 10 overs have gone. It's 38 for 2. Looking for it, they'll have to hurry.
The run was always on. Crowe was just a little late in going. If you watch here, well, we're seeing Latham, he hesitated too. But Crowe was there in plenty of time.
It's a good shot from Crowe. Boon's roaming down there. Lovely throwback from David Boon.
They have all got good arms. We see here that one was wide. Just set up nicely for Crowe to chip down there, but of course having a third man, it's only 1 run. But just watch these Australians. They're pegging to the ball. First class.
Just getting a little wide was Tom Moody. So the over ends, 11 have gone. It's now 41 for 2. They have to go quickly, but it was always there. Up in the air, over the top goes Crowe. Marvellous throw from Craig McDermott, and Bruce Reid ends his 6th over, the 12th of the innings. It's 45 for 2. And Crowe batting because New Zealand have lost 2 wickets. Crowe's just brought up his 3,500th run in one-day international cricket. And a big moment for Martin Crowe, captaining New Zealand, the first World Cup that's ever been held in this part of the world. And a hugely important task for him now to counter the immediate success of the Australian bowlers when Wright and Jones were out. Lovely fielding by Mark Waugh.
Well, good run rate. New Zealand would have to be happy with the run rate. Once again, Reid just over pitching here, and if you notice when runs have been scored off Reid, it's all been off fuller deliveries.
Oh, that's out, he's gone. That's a masterful catch there by Healy. That's what the sort of catch that makes Healy the wicketkeeper that these bowlers always want to have. Latham going for a wide one. He'd been tied up in that over, got the edge, you could see it, brilliantly caught by Healy.
Well, that was a superb catch. Moody, the bowler, a bit short, going for the big cut shot, got an edge, and what a dive and what a take. And Ian Healy, he's got the wicket. Tom Moody, he's thrilled about it. And New Zealand now losing their third wicket, 53 the score. Steve Waugh, the all-time career record as far as one-day cricket, not test cricket, 122 matches. Good performance. All looking to drive. This is a tight single. It hits the stumps. It ricochets away. There's more runs. He wasn't run out. They get a second, but they won't get any more.
Yes, Dean Jones's throw, and his arm is so strong. That's Murphy's Law. Hits the stumps and goes for runs. 56 for 3.
So 56 for 3. 3 men gone, Latham, Wright and Jones. Martin Crowe there on 15. Ken Rutherford just taking guard. Yet to get off the mark. So there we are, the all-time career record, 64 matches in one-day cricket, Ken Rutherford. Oh, it's in the air, but it's through the gap down to third man. Played on purpose down there, but it certainly had a rather dangerous look about it. However, it gets Ken Rutherford off the mark. End of the over, 57 for 3.
And again, just turned away for one. A bit more bounce in the pitch than expected at the beginning of play.
No, how I see it, Jeff, is that the bounce is there because of the types of bowlers the Australians have. Moody, McDermott and Reid are all very tall bowlers, all bowl into the wicket, and they get bounce. We're seeing now with these bowlers, not a lot of pace in the wicket, but you're seeing now with the slower bowlers, that is not the bounce for them. And the guys who aren't quite so tall.
And a well-done single to Martin Crowe. Crowe and Rutherford running well there to pick up another single.
Off the back foot. Now this is one run. There's a man down there, David Boon, in front of the big crowd, the Eastern Bank. Fairly torrid spot down there. Well, cutting again. Good shot by Ken Rutherford. He's repeated the dose from the other end. He'll come back for 2. He doesn't get the boundary as David Boon does the fielding. But he's played that shot a couple of times rather well. End of the over, 66 for 3.
It's Tom Moody to continue. Oh, right over the top. It may just fall wide of the play. Oh, what a magnificent effort there. Dean Jones very nearly bringing off a marvellous catch. It still ends up going on to the boundary, though, for 4 off the bat of Martin Crowe.
Quite incredible cricket, a short ball, a very good shot by Martin Crowe. Got under it a little bit, but there we see Dean Jones running full tilt. What a magnificent attempt. But, of course, New Zealand will take those 4 runs without doubt.
In the air and just wide of gully, Marsh in the gully. Went very quickly down there, certainly to Boon.
But they can't afford to take risks because they've got some inexperience to come, haven't they, with Harris, Cairns and Patel.
Yes, but I think they've got to cast those thoughts away, Richard, if they want to get the sort of score which is needed. Fine shot by Crowe, that'll be 4. But by 6, the 2 fielders down there. Jones just in front of square. And big Bruce Reid at fine leg.
Well, short again. Moody trying to get the extra bounce, but Crowe being severe on that. I take your point, Glenn, but at the same time, New Zealand must be conscious of the fact that they can't afford to lose wickets. It's all got to be positive in their own way, of course.
Rutherford just cutting this into the ground, and a good half stop there in the gully.
Jeff Marsh there in the gully. In fact, Rutherford's played the cut shot very well. Had that been a chance or caught, that would have been quite superb effort, but it was probably quite well stopped at the end of the day, which allowed 1 run.
And there we see a cartoon of Latham.
I don't think he'd be too flattered with that.
Do you think he fills the helmet?
Well, I'm just wondering whether it is Latham. I wonder who the artist was. Ellison, by the looks of it.
So change of bowling now. It was an unusual shot from Crowe. He got so far across, it was a foot outside off stump, and somehow he worked it round into the onside for a single. Just an easy run there. Taylor just dragging it down short, and so Crowe able to have a long look at that ball. It'll be Steve Waugh to continue. He'll start his 5th over. He has none for 12. All very tidily. Very much slower one this time from Steve Waugh, but adjusted by Crowe, and he just tickles it around the corner for a single. Another comfortable single down there. There was an indication of the ball not quite coming onto the bat. Crowe getting through his shot off the back foot, but takes a single. End of the over, 84-85 for 3. Just a single down to deep backward square. The fieldsman Reid. Just too short there. Certainly that's not a New Zealand length to bowl the ball. Rather too short, and just sitting up and looking at the batsman and asking to be comfortably hit. Well, that's good cricket. Steve Waugh is halfway through his stint now, having bowled 5 overs, none for 15, with Rutherford on strike. In fact, Martin Crowe on strike, and once again a single, just punching it into the offside. Oh, that's a cracking shot. Just whacked it through the offside. Was always going to be 4.
Well, it's unusual not to have a sweeper back at this stage of the innings, isn't it? Because that was a beautiful shot by Ken Rutherford. We know he's a good driver of the ball. Beaten the close infield there in the covers, and that's just raced away to the boundary.
This is the strategy that they're using, of course. They're forcing New Zealand to play the bigger shots. And Rutherford taking up the challenge successfully. And that's more good cricket, because Waugh got it. He bowled an in-swinger there. Rutherford almost got too far across, but was able to hit it wide of mid-on, just to his right hand. Boon down there and sneak a single.
But runs are coming virtually at will now for New Zealand. 6 runs in the last 3 deliveries. It's exactly what they want.
End of the over at 96 for 3.
Down the pitch he goes, over the top, it'll be safe.
Control shot. He got to it. He saw there was a man in the deep. Had to clear the inner field, and he did that. We'll see this here. Got to it. Just checked his shot. Didn't want to hit it too hard, so he had carry on it. Down to that fielder in the deep. Good, safe one-day shot.
But the spin on this pitch, there's definitely spin there.
Here he goes, Crowe over the top. He just eludes, standing on his stumps, but he gets the ball away for a couple. Just we're seeing it here. He got a long way across, and look, he was at
front foot coming around, and he did look to see if he was a little worried there, wasn't he?
There it's over the square leg, and that's the New Zealand 100 with a great shot from Ken Rutherford. .50 partnership coming up too, with Rutherford pulling the ball from Waugh, which is just a shade short.
Because here we see it, that just set up nicely for him, didn't it? He just had to elude those men sweeping, which he did.
There's the partnership, 50 runs from 75 balls in only 41 minutes. Rutherford is looking more and more assertive every ball that's bowled. One run extra, 28 overs have gone, it's 105 for 3.
But looking at the scoreboard there, Crowe and Rutherford have certainly brought this game around and are certainly helping New Zealand's cause.
It's over the top again, in the gap, mid-wicket, Crowe finds it.
Taylor guilty here, a little bit short and bowled too straight, and he paid the penalty. And what I like to see when Martin Crowe is playing these shots, that's a sign of a player in form, and so often this season we haven't seen him doing that.
The thing I like about the way Martin Crowe's playing at the moment, Bob, is that he's using his feet. He's doing it in an exaggerated fashion. He's going right back or right forward or right across. He's doing everything that he possibly can to get himself in the best position to play an attacking stroke. So heading against the spin, but the ball short. And that's the end of the 29th over. It's 111 for 3. Now McDermott's coming in to bowl his 5th over. Short. One World of Sport has you looking down on Eden Park with Peter Taylor about to bowl the 31st over of the innings, 115 for 3. It's a short boundary, and it's too short for Bruce Reid. On his Martin Crowe's 50. Just sneaked up. It's his 25th one-day 50, his 5th in the World Cup competition, and Martin Crowe scoring his 5th boundary has taken New Zealand to 119 for 3, and he's 50.
We're seeing this here, a short ball, and because of the slowness of the pitch, it just sat there quietly. Actually, it was a bad line too, because Taylor bowled it too straight, and as you said, Peter, there's a bit of turn there. It finished up around leg stump, and Crowe just pulled it through mid-wicket very, very quickly, dissecting that sweeper.
Now let's get this straight, Kenny. I didn't say there was a bit of turn there. I said there was a lot of turn there. You said there was a bit of turn there. Martin Crowe playing magnificently. 51 he is. And here's a look at his scoring shots. You can see that for the most part he was scoring at the start in singles, just working the ball around the wicket. But then there's been some magnificent strokes to the onside and one spanking off drive.
And it's so good to see the New Zealanders continuing to pick up those singles. A 4-ball in the over, and they picked up 2 singles as well. So they're going about the task very well. They're certainly more positive than I've seen them play this season.
So Border's got a few concerns, I'm sure. It's 123 for 3. Border's the one on the right. I think you're right about the need to have Crowe there for certainly right into the final 5 overs. But he's playing very well, Bob.
Yes, this is the Martin Crowe of old.
So it's Mark Waugh, and a good-looking shot down to mid-off, wide mid-off. They'll pick up 1, so these two really starting to score, not at will, but reasonably freely.
Oh, lovely shot, wasn't it? Beautiful,
Nice little
wristy,
late cut.
just chopping it down.
Yes, he's played that very well today, Ken Rutherford, the cut shot. And that was reasonably close in, but he dabbed it down and controlled it all the way. So Martin Crowe this time, he gets it through. And David Boon down there picks up. Martin Crowe's tempted to come back, but good throw. Oh, he thumps that. It wasn't that far up to him, but he did well to keep it down, Ken Rutherford. And the sweeper out there comes in. So one more to the score. Very pleasant day here at Eden Park. And
Marvellously hirsute, isn't it?
does that sound like a Pommy accent? I thought they'd gone home. Man.
Rather a weak baritone, I thought.
Dear me. And that's very fine. That might run away for 4. A dive. Oh, yes, it has. Steve Waugh coming around. Couldn't cut it off. So that's the good shot if you can master it. A fine nick along the ground, preferably, I suppose, through the slip area. Doesn't matter if there's no slips there.
No, that's it. One-day cricket, the thick outside edge along the ground, fine. It's the safest shot in the business. And I'd have backed Steve Waugh normally to have fielded that. The umpire was in some doubt, Mr. Kaiser Hyde, whether it had gone over the rope. But you all saw for yourselves, all around the world, that was indubitably, indisputably, and definitely 4 runs.
That's well said, Henry. And there's a run here to Ken Rutherford out on the leg side, only 1. And 1-3-4 for 3.
Well, those hospitality suites you can see there, the tents and everything, lovely, perfecting the picture. Another squeeze single there by Rutherford. Out to deep cover.
Another run here. Nice little dab away down behind square. Oh, he cuts. It's in the air away, but it's 4 runs. Good shot. So Ken Rutherford, he's been very severe on anything short.
What a bad ball that was, though, for Stephen Waugh. It was a long hop, well wide of the off stump, gave him the width, the right length, and it was a gift, absolute gift. Or as our old friend Geoffrey Boycott would say, a gimme.
Certainly went in the air, but there's no one there, and cracked away. And clipped away on the leg side. There's a man out there, so only 1 run to Rutherford. All pulled away, good shot, well controlled. He'll only get 1. There's a man out there.
Oh, a good shot that was, just running it round the corner. Probably end up being a leg by, but
I think he got a bit of bat to it, perhaps. Yes, bit of bat and a bit of pad. Oh, over pitch driven, lovely shot. The man out there making a lot of ground, Dean Jones, he really is fast in the outfield.
That was very good calling by Rutherford. Crowe wanted the second. Dean Jones, there's no way they'd have made it. And it was Rutherford who stopped Crowe. And Crowe actually said thank you afterwards. Very good calling by Rutherford.
Yes, that rocketed him, didn't it?
Oh, he's got the best arm in the business, Dean Jones. Wonderful thrower.
So there we are, 145 for 3. Mark Waugh on his way. And a lovely little dab, cut shot again. Boone's down there, so there's only 1 run. Oh, another little cut shot, and that really is bringing runs for Rutherford. And I see, Henry, that these two have now brought up a record for the 4th wicket against Australia in 1 days. Previous was between Martin Crowe and Jeremy Coney in 82-83.
And what was the previous one? 93. Well done. Peter Marriott, another first for him.
Another single, and they really are ticking over rather well now.
And Crowe's gone again. He swung Bruce Reid away, and there's another 4. And that
Magnificent batting from Crowe, just a bit short, and in fact a sign of the good batting that they've put on, that Alan Border's been forced to bring Bruce Reid back.
His feet, no better example than this.
right into the shot. He's moving everything. The body weight is transferring, and he's heading straight through the line of the ball. And then they've overcompensated by being a wee bit too full. I can't understand why Bruce Reid even tries to keep the ball up on this pitch. He should be bowling just a little short of a length and straight.
Good calling again, and both of them good understanding and just taking off. The Australians not able to reduce the scoring there. Very controlled dab by Rutherford. A feature of his innings has been his cutting, whereas Crowe has been pulling at the other end. Between the two of them, very successful partnership at the end of the over at 159 for 3. And just in behind the stand, some people enjoying some sausages. Good shot, Rutherford, full toss, but he did find the gap, and it'll go. It beats Taylor.
Well, that's Kenny Rutherford's 50, and that's very well played. It's taken him 64 balls to do that. He's hit 6 boundaries. And my word, he has played well for New Zealand today. Complimented Martin Crowe quite beautifully. And that's his 12th one-day 50.
Once again, cutting, but Rutherford, like Crowe, have got to see the job through now. Much further down the line anyway. And we can look at the wagon wheel of Rutherford.
Yes, well, he's just sort of a lot of cuts there. There's no doubt about that. Just dabbing the ball down just behind square on the offside there, and he's worked away the ball pretty well on the legs as well.
It's gone straight up. Will it fall safely? It's dropped by Border. Martin Crowe getting a top edge. A difficult one for Border, coming over his head, and he made a mess of it.
Well, the pictures tell the story. A short ball, not a good one. Martin Crowe getting under it. Alan Border having to make a lot of ground. Well, well, well. The captain of Australia puts it down, much to the delight of the crowd.
Rutherford whipping it through mid-wicket again. There'll be at least 2 here with Jones coming across. Just ambling through now for 2. So it's all action here. Oh, too close in, and Rutherford got away with this shot, but was almost embarrassed by it. Coming back very quickly for the second. Just bounced a little, and a little too close in on him.
Well, runs are coming out well, aren't they? Little dabs, little cuts. That's the end of the over. 170 for 3, 39 overs.
Bruce Reid to continue from the southern end. And he's bowling to Rutherford. Getting it down to third man again. Not able to come back this time. Very tight. In fact, I think he'll be run out. It was just too tight. Rutherford tragically run out from New Zealand's point of view, but fine fielding from the Australians. New Zealand lose their 4th wicket at 171.
Yes, well, Rutherford just not quite backing up there. They've done a lot of quick running between the wickets. Mark Waugh, I think it was, coming through there. Rutherford well and truly out by at least a metre or so. New Zealand lose their 4th wicket.
And so New Zealand 171 for 4. And the new batsman for New Zealand is Chris Harris.
And he's played well for New Zealand in the one-day internationals against England this year, has Chris Harris. Coming in at a difficult time because he won't have enough time to get himself established, get used to conditions. The run rate must be maintained, so he must be looking to push those singles. He's still a very good striker of the ball too, Glenn, and not easy for him. Not a bad average there of nearly 27. Hasn't played a lot for New Zealand, only 15 innings, 17 matches. But he's already scored 150, highest score of 56 against England, not so long ago.
It's very important that the incoming batsman gets some bat on ball and keeps it ticking over so that things don't go dead. We know that he's a very good striker of the ball as we just watch this run out again. And just too tight. Perhaps Rutherford wasn't backing up enough, I wouldn't like to say. And nicely down to mid-on, just for a comfortable single, just keeping it ticking over. And now Harris will come on strike, and we'll need to do likewise, and we'll watch to see if the Australians bring in the field at all, or they're prepared to leave it the same. Good strong shot. There should be two here with Jones coming across. Short and wide to Harris. Cashing in on it, and the offside sweeper too square to stop that one. And let's have a look at Manhattan, Richard.
Well, there's a couple of big runs there, isn't there? There's around about sort of 10 and 12 runs coming off a few overs there, but generally very consistent. Runs coming off all but one of the overs.
Going down leg side, instead of sweeping, he's tickled it around the corner as Harrison will go all the way to the fence.
Well, I don't know how he got it there, but he did. It's 4. New Zealand 178 for 4 after the 41st over.
Good backing up here, this time from Harris. Crowe looking to fake there. And that's the drop catch of Alan Border. Not sure whether he'd be happy with that one. It's certainly very entertaining. Crowe smacking it away. They've got two out there, and they're only about 20 metres apart. But when it's short like that, Crowe can pick his spot. 184 for 4.
And Alan Border with a few problems. New Zealand 184 for 4. We've just seen Martin Crowe bring up 500 runs in World Cup matches. And the only other player to have scored 500 in World Cup matches has been the man who's just left, Glenn Turner. Spinning there, but Harris kept control of it very well indeed. And once again, the ball runs all the way.
Yes, right idea, not trying to hit the ball through the field, just angling the bat. Here we're going to see it here, just letting it run down. It's amazing the pace in this outfield. That just raced away to the boundary, and there was hardly any effort in the shot at all.
Past the bowler. Well run, Crowe. He's going to have to hurry, but he judged it well. So they're starting to accelerate. He's working the ball around well. Well, as you know, Bob, I know Chris Harris pretty well, and he's an adventurous young player. With just 7 overs left in the New Zealand innings, Crowe and Rutherford, that marvellous partnership of 118, was ended when Mark Waugh splendidly ran out Ken Rutherford. But now Chris Harris has come in and he's doing the job. Border again. Oh, there's going to be an awful run out now. Harris is gone. Another lovely piece of fielding by Alan Border. You heard Harris call waiting, but you saw Crowe coming, committed. He had to keep on going, and Harris had to leave. Harris out for 14. New Zealand 191 for 5.
Yes, we see here that great piece of fielding here by Border, and the batsmen really were committed, weren't they? But that's one-day cricket, and New Zealand have got to keep the scoreboard ticking over.
So we're in the 44th over. Harris leaves at 14. It's 191 for 5. And a very good average too for coming in just down the bottom of the order, where he comes in most of the time. He's got to go for what he can, so he must take more risks than most batsmen would. 350s, and very good performer. Just needs 6, you see, for 1,000 runs in one-day internationals. Now Moody bowls to him. There's a shot that's a very hard to set a field to. A drive which squirts over backward point. Will he come back for 2? He does. So Ian Smith's on the way. This is the 44th over. It's over the top again, just over the top of David Boon. And it runs into the boundary at mid-wicket. Crowe is racing. It's 199 for 5. 44 overs have just been completed. Smith up in the air. He might just clear Taylor. He does. Steve Waugh. One only.
Well, Smithy had to stretch out there, but he made it well. It's a bit wide from Steve Waugh. Down the pitch he goes. It's in the air, but falling short of Boon. He gets it well. He gets it behind there. It's going to be 4.
Difficult player to bowl to, Smithy, when he's batting like this. No, it wasn't a bad ball. Once again, Smithy was moving. Waugh saw him moving, bowled to where he was, but he managed to get bat on it still.
He did well to drag that round as far as he did, because it's the shortest part of the boundary on that side of the ground. And Smith did really well. 12 runs for Smith, 10 balls faced. And so that's the end of the 46th over. 4 remain. New Zealand 213 for 5. One World of Sport coming up to lunch at Eden Park. There are 4 overs left, and to take you through them, Henry Blofeld, John Morrison.
Thank you, Peter. Yes, there's some marvellous lunches being organised around the ground, particularly on the number 2 with the hospitality, but it's all action on the number 1 as McDermott, Smith. It's an interesting style, but it's proving effective. Oh, full toss, but he got an edge. It races away to third man, David Boon down there. He's had a fairly torrid day in front of the crowd. So one more. Smithy again. Oh, he tries to swing it away, and he's gone. Caught. He got a little nick. Ian Healy took it, and New Zealand have lost Smith.
That was a brilliant catch, going the wrong way to his left. It was an absolutely marvellous catch by Healy, but at this late stage probably not appreciated as much as it should be. But watch it, the way he had to go with his left glove, he went a very long way. It was a wonderful catch.
But there we are, Chris Cairns. 6 matches, not much experience, very young man, age of 21, but what a super prospect. And he can thump it too. Let's hope he gets hold of one.
I tell you what, he's the best New Zealand player off the back foot. And if they both shorted him now, they might get a little bit of umpty. Not to mention Dumpty as well.
It's a fairly tight run, but he really came through in a hurry, Chris Cairns, so he's underway.
What an exciting game. Martin Crowe, a word for him. He's not been in form on the greatest day of the summer so far. He's really refound it. Wonderful. Let's hope it's a basis for the future. Oh, beautifully played. Running it down with his wrists, and he's going to get 2 runs. That was a lovely, delicate touch.
Yes, he held back a bit, didn't he, with that slower pace of the pitch, but it's the end of McDermott's over, 218 for 6. And here's at least 1. I think that's all they'll get.
He's got to put all thoughts of the 100 away from him and just go for it. That's a marvellous shot with 4 runs. That's Crowe at his very best. A brilliant stroke.
Superb shot. And he just thumped that down the ground. It wasn't that far up, was it?
It wasn't thumpers, really. I mean, it was delicate, wasn't it? And, I mean, if we're going to see... it's wonderful to see him like this. That was a super stroke.
Right into the gap behind the bowler. There's a deep mid-off or long off, a deep long on, but they're fairly wide.
And stump vision told it better than anything.
And this is another run at least. David Boon racing in off the boundary. He'll stop the second. So New Zealand racing on to 224, and let's look at the progress. We'll have a look at the worm, Henry. That's making good progress, isn't it? A nice steady climb. Oh, that's an interesting looking shot. He's got it down to third man, only 1. And that's where Martin Crowe's got it. But there's the man in the deep. He's coming back for a second, Chris Cairns, and he makes it. So there we are, the full board. Martin Crowe on 94, Chris Cairns facing on 3. Oh, this is very tight. And he's through. Well, it's a leg by. Martin Crowe throwing out a few distress signals going down there, but my word, that was a tight signal.
There, isn't it? Diving, yes. Marvellous speed, a marvellous stroke.
And he's one of the quickest men around. So Crowe on 98.
The 100 doesn't matter. He's got to go on, put that out of his mind and just go on doing that.
No, this will be a single. Taylor coming off the boundary down there at long on, so he's on to 99, Crowe. Good ball up in the block hole, but he's got it out, Cairns. They're looking for the second, but it's not there. And that's the end of the McDermott over. Another good one for New Zealand, 234 for 6. Oh, he's got hold of this, 4. There's no one down there. He has to have 4 men inside the circle. He chose not to have a fine leg, and he's paid the price.
That was splendid for New Zealand. Whether it was off the middle or the edge doesn't matter. He got it into the gap. He beat the fielder, Peter Taylor, there at short fine leg and whizzed away for ball. Yeah, I think he hit it in the middle. Good shot. Waugh was appealing. I don't know quite what for.
When he's hit this one. More. That's 4 again. Oh, what a great shot. He picked that up and whacked it over to the number 2 stand.
Crowe had a word with Cairns then. I hope he said to him, for goodness sake, don't worry about my 100. Just go on. Hit the next 4 balls for 4, and I'm happy to be 99 not out.
Oh, too right. And that raced away. It's reasonably short, that boundary over there. And Waugh taking a hammering. 242 New Zealand. He's hit this one, not so hard. It's a long chase round there. Will they come back for 3? Yes, I think they'll make it. They will.
And Crowe's got the chance to get his 100. But that marvellous cricket, 4-4-3.
And there's his brother, Jeff.
And look at everything there. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes, Eden. 11 fours. Very severe on the leg side. Some lovely pull shots there. He really did hammer some through there. They've hit men out there all day, but he's beaten them. And he's worked a lot of singles and some lovely straight shots.
Life's a lottery.
Too right. 247. Oh, he thumps it. He doesn't get hold of it. And they'll get a single. And that's the end of the innings. A marvellous performance from New Zealand. A wonderful innings from Crowe. Wonderful innings from Rutherford. Useful contribution. The end of the day, a fine innings from New Zealand.
248 for 6. Martin Crowe, 100 not out off 134 balls. And look at the support acts as well. Kenny Rutherford, 57 off 71 balls. And Chris Harris, Ian Smith and Chris Cairns as well. Little cameos towards the end of the innings. Rod Latham getting the innings off to a good start with 26 off 44 balls. But at 13 for 2, who would have thought at 246 for 8 would be what it ended at. As for the Australian bowling figures, well, McDermott 2 for 43. He was the main wicket taker. But Bruce Reid went for nearly 4 and over as well. And Steve Waugh went for 6 and over. I would imagine it's been quite some time since the Australian bowlers have been treated like that in such a general way. Mark Waugh, 4 overs, none for 27.
The first ball of the Australian innings. Boon working it off his toes, but not able to get past square leg. And this could be 4. Yes, it went so quickly down there in such a short boundary. Just an orthodox flick off the pads round the corner, and Boon scores the first runs for Australia.
Well, not a good start for New Zealand, and we know that the Australians are very strong players. Anything bowled at the leg stump or anything too straight just gets whipped away on the leg side. A very good example of that by David Boon. New Zealand must settle into a good line, good length, and really frustrate and deny the Australian batsmen of any freedom for runs.
Well, that's another gimme, really. That's just too full from Cairns into his pads and easily played through just forward of square leg. They could come back for a 4th. Yes, he's had to launch the ball to get it back in, and that's 4 for Boon. Nothing from stump vision. Just down towards Cairns, who is now coming into Boon and Marsh. Wide and just slashing it behind point. That was a real gift for Marsh, and of course he hates the cut, doesn't he?
Well, all the Australians are very good players of short bowling. They went very short, very wide, hit very uppishly, but very safe, of course. But they are also good pullers of the ball. They like the ball to bounce and come onto the bat. And so New Zealand have got to tighten up. If they don't, then I'm sorry, New Zealand have wasted a golden opportunity.
John Wright missing out today. No doubt will take toll later. Width and just getting it through the covers. There'll be a couple here, perhaps 3. It's again full and wideish, freeing the arms of Boon, and he comes back for 3. He's bounced him, he's top-edged it, but it won't carry all the way down to the fence. Rather, well, actually, Boon's looking there, and quite rightly so. It wasn't above shoulder high, and therefore should it have been called a no ball.
Thank you, Glenn. That's a lovely shot. Boon just crisply hitting an overtossed ball from Cairns straight through extra cover, and even though there are 3 players out there, he found the gap, hit it well, and picks up his 3rd boundary. Bob.
Seeing here just too full and too wide too, and he only had to penetrate the field, and it was 4 runs. Well played, got on the front foot. Cairns has got to get onto that off stump, short of a length.
Overtossed again. Oh, a bad miss. John Wright just sliding across and can't get it. So that's really giving runs to the Australians. Cairns overtossing, Wright misfielding. Really a sorry chapter of poor play. We can't have held the ball too many like that. That really was a bad ball. The field isn't set for that, and Boon was quick to take advantage of it. 3 boundaries and a run for. He's gone to 25, and it's 39 for no wicket.
As we're seeing this here again, wide. It was a quicker ball and width, and Boon just got better on it. The Australians play so well in that area.
Short ball, bad ball. Yeah. It's high, wide and handsome. It's 4 runs.
If you bowl slow long hops to David Boon, you get what you asked for, don't you?
So that's the Australian 50 up. 53 for none. That short ball swung away, really a gimme.
Yes, I think Geoffrey Boycott's grandmother could have tapped that one away to the boundary, probably.
Yeah, she wasn't a bad batsman, they tell me.
I tell you what, she was jolly good. I've never certain when she batted left-handed or right-handed. Probably did it both ways.
Yes, according to Geoffrey. All wide,
oh, dear,
away. Good shot.
Ball.
Yes, that's a gimme ball, short and wide, taken toll of. And David Boon very quickly crashes it away.
That was a dreadful ball, but there we are. The odd one does come, and Willie Watson's done pretty well so far. But if you relieve the pressure every now and then, let the batsman relieve his feelings, you ain't going to get very far.
Oh,
he's out, he's gone. It's a splendid catch. It's a marvellous catch by Latham there in the covers. He hit it beautifully, didn't quite get over it, and Marsh is gone. And that is the breakthrough that New Zealand so desperately needed.
Well bowled, Gavin Larson, trying to hit it away. Didn't hit it at all well. Thick outside edge in the air, and a good catch by Rod Latham. So Australia have lost their first wicket. 62 for 1. New Zealanders love beating Australia, but there we are. Dean Jones, 125 matches. That's a lot of matches.
Well, Richard Hadley's coming on in a minute or two, and he'll then tell listeners exactly how Dean Jones should be got out.
Maybe he's got
the moment he's munching an apple quite cheerfully.
Oh, he's got the catch, but he's got runs. It's very fine down there. A run away for 4. So Dean Jones underway. And Andrew Jones, the man who returned that. But that was reasonably close, and he went to cut. He could have got a little finer, but give him credit. There's no slip there. Third man's reasonably wide, but looking for room off Gavin Larson.
And, of course, we know Jones. Look at that there. He just stood up and just slapped it behind point. No trouble at all. Poor delivery from Harris, and third man just too fine.
Well, this is one of the problems for New Zealand, because Harris is very much a part-time bowler. Hasn't bowled a lot for New Zealand this year, let alone for Canterbury. And that ball just short and wide, and the Australians are great cutters of the ball. They like to have room. They like to have width so they can free their arms and get that ball away to the boundary.
Nipping the ball back, making it very awkward for Dean Jones. Short and hooked away for 4. That was a bad delivery from Gavin Larson. He tried to put a lot more into it, but dragged it down short and just gave an easy boundary at the end of the over at 84 for 1.
They're taking him on. They're going to have to hurry. Jones always hurries. He's going to be out. He's taken him on once too often. And the wicket has fallen. He can't believe it. Dean Jones has not made his ground. He's out for 21, run out, and Australia are 92 for 2.
Yes, we're going to see here so often Jones backs himself, doesn't he, against the fielder's arm. He puts the pressure on the fielder. And the New Zealand fielder in this case, young Cairns, he was equal to the occasion. Look at this for a throw, right over the top of the stumps. And Jones was a long way short.
Great decision from the umpire. Jones was disappointed, but Jones is out. He's out for 21, run out, and 27 balls. And on the 25th over, we're still in it. It's 92 for 2. So Boon has just quietly picked up his 50, and David Boon has made his 23rd one-day half-century. It's his 6th in the World Cup competition. And David Boon just acknowledging the applause of the crowd. He is 50, and Australia, after 26 overs, are 96 for 2. Boon going this time, and that's the Australian 100. It's a 4-2. Once it beat the close-in player, it was always going to be 4. And David Boon now has scored 500 runs in World Cup competition, and he's brought up the Australian 100 in the 28th over. A big hit, it's in the air, he's going to be caught. He is caught. Larson, magnificent catch. Cairns has just run around the square leg boundary, always had it under control, and Border, who is trying to resurrect things for Australia, has fallen to Patel. He's out for 3, and Australia is slumping. They're 104 for 3 now.
Yes, we're going to see here that he didn't really get onto this, did he? And hit it into the air. Good catch by Cairns to pick that up out of the crowd. He covered quite a bit of ground, caught it low down. Very good catch, Cairns.
So Border's leaving. He's out for 3. It's 104 for 3, and that's the completion of the 28th over.
Oh, just straying a little bit. This runs here. It might run away for 4. A long chase for Andrew Jones.
4 runs.
And in fact, it has. Quite quick down there, isn't it, Henry, that outfield?
Yes, it is. And you see, if Patel's going to bowl like that, it's nonsense. He's bowling. He shouldn't bowl. If a specialist off spinner shouldn't bowl, give the batsman that width at this stage.
But they still need 6.67, so somewhere along the way, perhaps they're going to have to really go for it, and that could induce some problems.
Well, you see, that's the main way now in which the New Zealanders can build pressure. If they can get that required rate up to 7 and over, then it really does become ickety-boo for them.
Oh, he's gone! He's taken.
It's a marvellous catch by Latham.
Rod Latham. And Tom Moody just hitting a catch back, but he had to move and dive to his left, and he did it and took it well. Superb catch. So Australia lose Moody. They lose their 4th wicket for 120.
And you see, this was the Perth wicket getting him out. In Perth, he'd have played forward, he might have got 4 runs. It had come onto the bat. But here, he played a bit too soon. It lifted on, it sort of stopped on him. It was in the air. What a catch. Terror, Rod Latham, how absolutely splendid. He's got 2 beauties.
Yes, it was poetry in motion, wasn't it? 120 for 4. Well, a change in the commentary. We've got Glenn Turner coming in with Richard Hadley.
And Gavin Larson coming in to Waugh. All out, appeal for an LBW, and he's gone. Waugh is out. The Australians in trouble. Real trouble, Richard Hadley.
They certainly are. Gavin Larson, the breakthrough again for New Zealand. That's out. Absolutely dead. Mark Waugh deceived there with the ball nipping back. He's out. Kaiser Hyatt, he doesn't have to think about it. And he's got a few today, hasn't he, as Kaiser Hyatt? A couple of LBs and a run out. New Zealand have got the breakthrough. Australia 125 for 5 in the 34th over. But New Zealand certainly on top. Latham doing a very good job for New Zealand.
Neil, he's a red and black, isn't he?
Of course.
A tickle round the corner. This could go away for 4. And it does. Looked like an orthodox leg glance. One of the few deliveries that Latham has strayed.
Yes, well, that one is going well down the leg, so it would have been called a wide had it gone through to keeper Smith, but I'm sure Boon would rather take the 4 runs instead. But Boon is now the key for Australia. He's on 72, has batted very sensibly and very well for Australia. But, of course, he's not getting the support at the other end. Only Dean Jones and Jeff Marsh at the early stages did support Boon, but the others haven't really done that.
And Steve Waugh's gone over the top, and he's getting one of those. That's what Australia need. Waugh with his first boundary. He's gone to 14, and there's the 150 for Australia. It's 152 for 5.
Yes, this one mid-on had come up to inside the circle, so really he only had to get onto that and hit it over the inner field.
Waugh guiding the ball down there. He'll get it to the boundary too. Jones can't get it. So 157 for 5. But that's the first boundary in the over, and Australia need heaps of them.
Yes, that's going to happen now and again. That one was just helped on its way. Just Watson just strayed a little there. He was just a little wide.
Down the pitch he goes. Getting the gap, is he? He is. It's a short boundary out there, and it's all the way through. So Boon is starting to go. He's taken his score to 89, and the score for Australia to 166 for 5. Away he goes again in the air, and it's going to beat the fielder. $170 for 5. Behind square again, and Larson won't get to that, I don't think. No, he doesn't. So a big over for Australia, and it needs to be. There's been a run off each ball, 7 in all.
So there we are, David Boon on 98. And he swings it away. I don't know whether he got bat on it.
Was it buys or
it's gone
leggers?
very fine.
It's 4.
It's 4 leg buys. Oh, he's hit this high wide and hits
That's
him.
a lovely shot.
And that's into the sight screen. 6 runs. So maybe it hasn't gone.
You tempted Providence then,
I did.
Mr.
I should never have opened the mouth there, should I? So that's a fine shot, and he hit it straight. Actually, it's nice to see them hit it straight. We've seen them try to work it down on a slow pitch, work it down behind point, etc. But that was a good shot. So the tension still remains. So David Boon on 99 facing Gavin Larson. And this is his 100. What a fine knock. Hits it down to long off. Boon 100. That's his 4th one-day 100. And he's been the backbone of this Australian innings.
Oh, Lord. We've got a chap out there. Mercifully, he's only a semi-streaker who's kept his pants on. And Booney shook him by the hand. He's not intact enchanted. He sees Australia losing the game, but nonetheless, he must have an inner glow of satisfaction.
Oh, it's been a great effort. Here's his wagon wheel. Some great shots square of the wicket.
Marvellous square cutter, isn't he?
And good pull shots. And plenty of little dabs around picking up 1s and 2s.
He's gone! He's gone! A brilliant catch! That's a staggering catch, and that wicket has won the match, I'm sure, for New Zealand.
Steve Waugh, caught and bowled by Larson. Superb catch. And New Zealand strike again. And the crowd here at Eden Park have gone absolutely crazy.
Well, that was the pace of the pitch. It was slow. It stopped on him. It didn't come on like Perth or some of the Australian pitches. But what a catch.
Oh, superb.
An absolutely brilliant catch by Gavin Larson. Wellington forever. What a marvellous blow there for New Zealand. And if that hasn't wrapped it up and put the Christmas paper on it, I don't know what has. Australia now 199 for 6. That catch, just watch it again. Yippee.
That was a cracker.
You tell your grandchildren about that one.
Yes, you can dine out in that for a month or so, or a good deal longer. So,
what a match. It's still 199 for 6.
It's not over yet, but it must
No,
surely be.
it's not over yet. There's one ball to go. You're quite right.
And here's a run, maybe 2. Will they come back? Yes, they are. This is... Oh, he's hit the stumps! Goodness me!
What a fantastic throw!
Chris Harris has hit the stumps at the bowler's end, and Boon is out. Goodness me, that was an amazing throw. Boon thought he would make it, and Harris just came in and fired the ball at the bowler's end and hit them virtually from side on.
That was quite extraordinary, and it's caused the entire Auckland Streakers Club, at least they're mostly half-naked, to come on at the northern end and jump around. It was an amazing... Just watch it. Look at that. Absolutely. Talk about the icing on the cake.
That's amazing. Look at that side on. He was directly side on. I didn't realise he was quite as square as that. But what a superb throw. 200 for 7 Australia. He tries to swing it away. They're going for a run. He must be out. He's out. Well, they went for a crazy single, and McDermott never had a chance. Harris raced through, picked up, got it to Smith, and the bails were gone, and another Aussie is out.
Well, there we are. This is what pressure does to you. There was never a run, of course. The bowler kept his head, and you see how far. Oh, out by a distance.
No, he wasn't even in the picture.
205 for 8. Marvellous.
It's in the air. It's gone. Oh, there's another one gone. Straight to Andrew Jones, and he leaps in the air in excitement. And Australia's in tatters here at Eden Park.
Well, that was quite, I mean, this game's preordained, predestined. Peter Taylor hit it well. On another day, that was 4 runs, but today, it was how's the father?
It certainly was. It was Ken Rutherford, in fact, and what a fine catch. 206 for 9. But really, the game has slipped well beyond Australia.
The happiest Martin Crowe I've seen all year.
It's in the air. It could be out.
It could be out. He could be caught down there.
Yes.
It's over.
It's all over. New Zealand have won. They've beaten Australia. The first game of the 1992 World Cup has gone to New Zealand. The big blood. They've got Australia. And what a start. What a day here at Eden Park.
So look at that, 211 all outs. David Boon run out by Harris for 100 off 133 balls. But other than that, well, Steve Waugh contributed well too with 38. But a disappointing effort by Australia on a pitch that didn't suit them. For the first time they played on a slow pitch like Eden Park this season. And you just felt through the whole innings the ball wasn't coming onto the bat and they were having trouble. They were pushing through the line and hitting the ball in the air where perhaps in Australian wickets they would have gone along the ground. And they ended up 37 runs short. Let's have a look at the New Zealand bowling figures now. And Gavin Larson, the figures of the innings, 3 for 30. He went for 3 runs and over off his 10. Dipak Patel, given the new ball, interesting move that attracted a great deal of comment. 1 for 36 off his 10. And Rod Latham too, 1 for 35. What a find he proved to be today off his 8 overs. 1 for 35. Chris Harris, 1 for 35 off 7.1. And here's how the day started for New Zealand. Remember, Martin Crowe won the toss, decided to bat, and he would have enjoyed himself out there today. 100 not out off 134 balls. Rod Latham getting the innings off to a good fast start, 26 off 44. But at 13 for 2, well, you'd have to be happy ending up at 248 for 6. And as far as the Australian bowlers are concerned, well, Steve Waugh went for 6 and over. His twin brother, Mark Waugh, went for 27 off 4. And McDermott and Reid, the new ball bowlers, well, they went for around 4 and over as well. So a very good effort that from New Zealand to get to 248 for 6. And there's the scene now at Eden Park. Happy New Zealanders, happy Aucklanders running all over the park. I get the feeling that this coming week there'll be about 200,000 Aucklanders who will say that they were there to see New Zealand beat Australia in the opening match of the Benson and Hedges 1992 Cricket World Cup. One World of Sport live at Eden Park after the conclusion of the opening match of the Benson and Hedges World Cup. With me is the winning captain, Martin Crowe. And Martin, I swore I'd never ever ask a sportsman this question, but how do you feel?
I'm elated, pleased for the team. You know, we've had some stick in the last couple of weeks, but we've hung in there and we've worked quite hard, and everything went well today.
All right, now joining us from Benson and Hedges is famous New Zealand former captain Bevan Congdon. Bevan, you've got the cheque to present for to the winning captain.
Yes, I have, Martin. I'd like to congratulate you and the team. And I'd say that today was probably one of the most exciting days of cricket that I've seen. I made a comment very early that before the game had started, there'd been more noise and excitement than what we experienced in the whole game. So I wish you well, personally, and also the team for the rest of the Benson Hedges World Cup.
Thanks, Ben.
And I do have the pleasure now of also announcing that you are the man of the match, and also to pass the medallion to you.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you very much, that's great.
Martin, you certainly pick your moments to come into form, don't you? Tell us about that innings.
Well, it's about time I did it right, and, and I paced it quite well. Early wickets meant that I had to obviously keep my head and just bat through, and played some decent shots at the end so that we had a good target. But everyone batted around, well around me. When you score 100, does it make that injured knee easier? It's been good in the last couple of days, and the thing is I've just tried to forget it, put it out of my mind and carry on, and it lasted today, so I'm really pleased. No dizzy spells either? Cut it out, Jeff. Now let me ask you, I have to ask you this about the Patel move that attracted plenty of comment from our commentary team on One Word of Sport. What was the thinking behind it? Well, it was a thought that both Warren Lees and myself had yesterday, and just an option really, and it was only going to be if we really bowled second and if we had a decent score. So we gave it a go, and Dipper bowled very well. It's always hard to hit sort of when you're opening the batting a slow bowler like that, so it's something we may keep to use. Now, Bevan, you're a former New Zealand captain. Would you have done a move like that, bring a spinner on to open the bowling?
Well, I'm not sure that I play the game the same as it is being played now, but I think it depends what the construction of the team is, and the game is that unless you have a pace attack that's going to have the potential to knock over a couple of wickets, you have to take a different approach. And I think it's a very courageous decision, and it went off well. And as long as we recognise that the next time you try something, it's worth trying, and people have got to accept that the way we play, you've got to try things. And I think it was courageous and well done on that. Martin, would you call this the greatest moment in New Zealand World Cup cricket? Well, I guess so. It's certainly a big plus for this team. As I say, we've worked hard, and it's been our day to day, but we've got to knuckle down to earth quickly and look forward to the next match against Sri Lanka. Cricket's a funny game. It can level you very, very quickly. But what was it like out there, those last few overs? The crowd screaming for you, the Aussie wickets falling? Yeah, well, I think the crowd were right in there once we started to get momentum when we batted, and they had a great day. They really enjoyed themselves. I wish they'd stay, though, in their seats. But, yeah, great atmosphere for the start of this fifth World Cup. Tremendous. All right, Martin, you may want to have a look at this, because we're going to have a look now on One Word of Sport at the big hits of Martin Crowe's 100.
Top. It may just fall wide of the play. Oh, what a magnificent effort there. Fine shot by Crowe. That'll be 4.
It's over the top again, in the gap, mid-wicket. Crowe finds it. It's a short boundary, and it's too short for Bruce Reid. It's his 25th one-day 50, his 5th in the World Cup competition.
And Crowe's gone again. He's swung Bruce Reid away, and there's another 4. And that brings up the 100 partnership.
Crowe smacking it away. They've got 2 out there, and they're only about 20 metres apart.
Martin, 100 out of 248. What was it today? Did you get out of bed and think, right, today's the day, I'm going to score 100? Well, my wife Simone's been, supporting me and telling me it's going to come right, and... well, today's the day and you better do it. Yeah, right. So it's a very proud day. I must admit, it's one of the best days I've had. It was a pleasure to watch you scoring runs. It was a pleasure to see you coming back into form. And Dean Jones almost pulled off the catch of the year. He did, didn't he? I couldn't believe he got there, to get into position to get his hand to it. One of the things our commentators have said about you today was that you were moving your feet more. Did it feel that way when you were at the crease? Well, I just kept a couple of simple thoughts in my head. One was to just have soft hands and to just play straight. And the other word I used was courage. I just felt that I had to have some courage out there and lead the way for the guys. You've got to have courage to beat Australia, and we had enough of that today. Well, they're tough, aren't they, the Australians? What did you say to the team before you went out on the field, having scored 248? Well, obviously to keep your cool and composure and just stick to the basic things. I mentioned the word courage again. I think that, it's an emotion that's very important in pressure situations. And they responded and they had a good time. Can you look ahead to Sri Lanka now and the team that might play there, or do you just want to relax and forget about that for today?
Well, you know, we'll sort of enjoy this evening, but we've got to come down to earth because this tournament's 8 games long, and we want to be there in the semi-finals, and that's a lot of hard work ahead. So we'll put this one behind us and look forward to Sri Lanka tomorrow.
You really turned the match around with that partnership with Kenny Rutherford. Was much communication between you? Did you have a set plan?
Well, Ken's been in very good form, you know, and the way he works the ball around, it took a lot of pressure off me, and of course once the momentum, you know, began. You sort of worked together, and of course it was prolonged. It went on for a long time. I was just sorry I ran him out, but a tremendous innings from him.
I want to take you almost through each stage of this match because it's just been such a wonderful day on One World of Sport. But at the start of the Australian innings, Chris Cairns went 4 for 30. What were you thinking then?
Well, you know, we have had a little bit of trouble with our new ball bowling in the one-day games, so hence the Deepak Patel move. But, you know, Chris has just got to keep working on this line and length. He's a tremendous all-round athlete and cricketer, and he'll get it right, I'm sure. But, you know, we had 248, and it was still 5, 6 and over. There was a long way to go after his 4 overs.
And a pleasure there to have Willie Watson come back. I mean, he must know every blade of Eden Park and where to bowl.
Well, yeah, he was very steady after Chris's spell, and pulled us back into the game. We got it down to 4 and over there, and of course that brings everyone else into play. You know, Chris Harris, Gavin Larson and Rod Latham then can bowl with not so much pressure on. So everyone helped each other today.
I mentioned before you probably enjoy watching the big hits of your 100. You'll probably enjoy this too. Let's have a look now at the highlights of the Australian innings from a New Zealand point of view. These are the Australian wickets.
He's gone. It's a splendid catch. It's a marvellous catch by Latham there in the covers. He hit it beautifully, didn't quite get over it, and Marsh is gone. And that is the breakthrough that New Zealand so desperately needed.
So Australia have lost their first wicket, 62 for 1.
Taking him on, they're going to have to hurry. Jones always hurries, he's going to be out. He's taken him on once too often. And the wicket has fallen, he can't believe it. Dean Jones has not made his ground. He's out for 21, run out, and Australia are 92 for 2. Here at Eden Park with Alan Border trying to work Australia into a stronger position. They've got a lot of work to do. A big hit that's in the air, he's going to be caught. He is caught, Larson. Magnificent catch. Cairns has just run around the square leg boundary, always had it under control, and Border, who is trying to resurrect things for Australia, has fallen to Patel. He's out for 3, and Australia is slumping. They're 104 for 3 now.
Rod Latham and Tom Moody just hitting a catch back, but he had to move and dive to his left, and he did it and took it well. Superb catch. So Australia lose Moody. They lose their 4th wicket for 120.
And Gavin Larson coming in to Waugh. All out appeal for an LBW, and he's gone. The Australians in trouble.
New Zealand have got the breakthrough. Australia 125 for 5 in the 34th over.
He's gone. He's gone. A brilliant catch. That's a staggering catch, and that wicket has won the match, I'm sure, for New Zealand.
Steve Waugh, caught and bowled by Larson. Superb catch. And New Zealand strike again. And the crowd here at Eden Park have gone absolutely crazy.
Well, that was the pace of the pitch. It was slow. It stopped on him. It didn't come on like Perth or some of the Australian pitches. But what a catch.
Oh,
An absolutely brilliant catch by Gavin Larson. Wellington forever. What a marvellous blow there for New Zealand. And if that hasn't wrapped it up and put the Christmas paper on it, I don't know what has. Australia now 199 for 6.
And here's a run, maybe 2. Will they come back? Yes, they are. This is... oh, he's hit the stumps! Goodness me!
What a fantastic throw!
Chris Harris has hit the stumps at the bowler's end, and Boon is out. Goodness me, that was an amazing throw. Boon thought he would make it, and Harris just came in and fired the ball at the bowler's end and hit them virtually from side on.
Absolutely. Talk about the icing on the cake.
That's amazing. Look at that side on. He was directly side on. I didn't realise he was quite as square as that. But what a superb throw. 200 for 7 Australia. He tries to swing it away. They're going for a run. He must be out. He's out. Well, they went for a crazy single, and McDermott never had a chance. Harris raced through, picked up, got it to Smith, and the bails were gone, and another Aussie is out. And Peter Taylor to face. It's in the air. He's gone. Oh, there's another one gone. Straight to Andrew Jones, and he leaps in the air in excitement. And Australia's in tatters here at Eden Park. So Chris Harris now to bowl the 49th over of this innings. Bruce Reid on strike. He's on 3. Healy on 7. But really the game has slipped well beyond Australia.
The happiest Martin Crowe I've seen all year.
It's in the air. It could be out.
It could be out. He could be caught down there.
Yes.
It's over.
It's all over. New Zealand have won. They've beaten Australia. The first game of the 1992 World Cup has gone to New Zealand. The big blood, they've got Australia. And what a start. What a day here at Eden Park.
A win by 37 runs. Now, Martin, when you woke up this morning, that was exactly what you thought was going to happen.
No, we had a big day ahead of us. I mean, you can never sort of dream about it, really. We just knew we had to work hard and go all the time, the whole day. And you know, we got our rewards today because we knuckled down. It's your job, I guess, now to get everybody's feet back on the ground. Yeah, well, we'll have a couple of, am I allowed to say it, DBs, and then yeah, get down to earth and look forward to Sri Lanka.
Martin, congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you for coming in.